Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Courtney here, and this feels so weird sitting right here and filming because the last time I sat right here and did a video, it was my very first video of me telling y'all how my experience was after I had surgery. If you haven't watched that video, then click it up there. But anyway, it just feels weird. It feels weird. I know I look different. I feel different from that video to this video. In this video, I also will be including pictures and videos so you guys can see, you know, what I look like then and what I look like now. I am currently a year post-op from Vsg, the vertical sleeve, and I'm feeling pretty good. There are some things that I'm going to get into that are kind of like, what the fucks, just to be blunt with you guys. But I guess it just comes with the territory. VSG story time. How I got here, how I ended up here, and everything. So I honestly did not know about bariatric surgery. I didn't know anything about it until my mom had it. And my mom decided to have the gastric bypass. She went through her process and everything. And as time was going on, I was seeing how good she was looking, how much weight she was losing. She was feeling great. I believe she was telling me like she was getting off some of the medications that she was on. And, you know, you just being supportive, you know, I'm just, you know, watching her process and her journey. And I'm like, what's that? Like, what's that? You know? So as time goes on, you know, I'm doing my own research and looking, you know, up the surgery. At the time, I was looking up gastric bypass because that's what I knew. You know, she had it. And like I said, she was having great results with it. So I came across the gastric sleeve and I'm doing research on that one. I found a doctor and I made me an appointment and I went in, had my very first consultation or whatever, and we talked about it, you know, the different procedures and everything, and I decided to have the sleeve. Now, at the time, I was just like, I had the mentality of like, oh, you don't need the surgery. You don't need to have the surgery. Being big for a long period of time, it's like you don't really realize how big you are until you lose some weight. So at that time, at over 300 pounds, I felt like I looked fine, you know? No, you couldn't tell me nothing. Like I said, I went to my very first appointment and I punked out. I was like, I'm not having it. At that time, I worked for a endocrinologist who prescribed a lot of weight loss medications to patients. I know a lot about diabetes, weight loss supplements and everything. And then she prescribed me a medication called phentermine. This phentermine pill is like crack on 1,000, but it works. Love the pill. It's very bad for you though. It's not good for your heart. It gets you have really bad heart palpitations, but you can get some shit done fast. So I was on phentermine for a while and I was losing weight. Then I started doing keto. I was losing weight, and then the consistency kind of just like fell off. You can take phentermine and still lose weight because it's an appetite suppressant. So you can literally go all day without eating, but it doesn't, like I said, it's not good for you and you're really not supposed to be on it too long. So that was like a short fix, not a long fix. So as time goes on, I'm taking the phentermine, and then I end up stopped taking the phentermine. Something happened. I don't remember what happened, but something happened. I stopped taking the phentermine and I was just like, all right, let me go back to the doctor. So the first place that I went to, it was like downtown Richmond, and I just didn't like their whole setup. Like, if y'all familiar with Richmond area or any place that's downtown, it's like really crowded, congested. I was just like, can't do it. I got lost the first couple times that I went there. It's just too much of the parking. So then I found another place that I decided to go to, another hospital that wasn't downtown, and I had an appointment with them, and pretty much the same thing, like the first appointment, consultation, they explain everything and whatnot. So fast forward, I decided I was going to have the sleeve for, you know, all my personal reasons. I wanted the sleeve, and then my insurance, you know, required me to do certain things. From the moment that I made the very first appointment, to my surgery, it took me about 6 months to get in and actually have my surgery. I had to do an endoscopy. I had to do a sleep study, which I found out I had sleep apnea, which explains so much because 6 months prior to me having the surgery, I had a baby. So I thought I wasn't sleeping well because, you know, I was waking up in the middle of the night. Even when my son did start sleeping through the night, it was like I would still wake up really drained and tired. And then I found out I had sleep apnea, and I had to have that machine on my face and everything. Like, at the time I was 27, and I was like, damn, I'm 27 and I have a sleep apnea machine. Like, get out of here. But anyway, I will say it worked. It did what it needed to do. So I had to do this sleep study, endoscopy. Had to do a lot of labs. I had to do a psych eval, and that psych eval was no joke. Like, this lady literally wrote like 3 pages on me and then mailed it to me, and I read the entire thing. I was just like, wow, I am kind of interesting. Like, those psych evals like are wonderful. I'm not gonna say wonderful. Not wonderful. That's the wrong word. They're really intense, because like these people really do have a way of making you open up to them. Because like when I first started, I had 2 appointments. The first appointment, I went in there being under the impression that I was going to be really like standoffish and shut down, answer the questions, nothing more, nothing less. But then it's just like, how was your childhood? If you say good, she's going to be like, it was, if I say it was pretty good, she's going to make you elaborate. Like, now, what is your definition of good? Fuck do you mean? What is my definition of good? So now you trying to explain your good childhood to a stranger, and then before you know it, your definition of good is kind of turning into like traumatic. And then she'll say something like, oh, well, that sounds a little, and then you're elaborating on that or trying to explain that, and then it just becomes a whole story. So they do have a way of breaking you down, for real. So if you haven't had your psych eval yet, and you do have to have a psych eval, be really careful and mindful of that, because I've actually seen people or heard stories of people that have gotten their surgeries pushed back because their doctor felt like they weren't ready mentally yet to have the surgery. So just be real careful of that. I feel like as long as you go in there at the end of everything with having a good support system, because they're going to ask you about that, and just not a negative mindset of life in general, I think you'll be good. But just be careful. Like, these people don't have to know all your business. That's all I'm gonna say. So after I did my psych eval and everything, I want to say it took me about 2 weeks to hear something back on my surgery date. My stuff went pretty fast. I had the app for my insurance company, and I would like log in just to see if things were like processing, like far as like paperwork and whatnot. I was like I worked at a doctor's office, so I kind of like know how to like look at things. And then before I called my physician to ask if there was any update before I got my surgery date, I called my actual insurance company. I'm like, hey, did you guys approve me to have surgery yet? X, Y, and Z or whatever. And then they'll look and they'll be like, yeah, we faxed everything over to your doctor's office. So I already knew that my doctor's office was calling me any day now to schedule my surgery date, and they did just that. So fast forward, okay, the day of surgery, I had to be at the hospital. I want to say it was like 6 or 7. It was pretty early. COVID was still a thing. So I remember like going in, I couldn't have my husband come in with me. He could sit with me for registration, but he couldn't come back to the very back until I had surgery. So he pretty much just dropped me off. He sat for a little bit, and then when they called me back, I didn't see him anymore. Going back to the back, I had to do a pregnancy test, and they, cleared that, that was a no-go. Don't be pregnant. I had to do the pregnancy test, and then I had to put on my little gown, and the rest was history. I laid back and I just relaxed in the bed and I just waited. The anesthesiologist had came in and he talked to me pretty briefly and told me what his job was and everything. I had so many people coming in asking me what procedure I was having. I kind of got over saying the same fucking thing over and over. And they did give me my IV and everything. I was not aware of me falling, being about to be put to sleep. They did give me a medicine to put underneath my tongue for nausea for when I woke up, just in case I was nauseous or whatever. So that was kind of like, be cautious or whatever, which I was not nauseous at all when I had woke up from surgery. So I do remember them explaining that medicine, but I don't remember them telling me that they were putting anything in my IV bag. Next thing I knew, I was asleep. I don't remember anything after the nausea medicine. And I woke up from the hospital in a recovery room, like a recovering area. It wasn't even a full room because it had like the the curtain, so I wasn't even like in my like main room yet, because I could hear everybody or whatnot. And when I woke up, guys, I was in so much pain. I was hurting. It was the biggest regret of my life because I have never been in so much pain. I've had 2 children via C-section, so I have been cut before. And the pain literally felt like I never, can't say never. You never say never. I haven't experienced a heart attack, but if that's what a heart attack feels like, I don't want to experience it. But my chest was on fire, y'all. When I tell y'all, it felt like I had like a 400-pound man sitting on my chest. Like, it was literally bad. They had me in the bed. I was propped up a little bit, and my phone was like near the sink. And I remember it was like I was like waving like, somebody help. So I was like, help. like doing like that, like, somebody help. And a lady, we made eye contact, and she came in. She was like, you okay? And I was like, my chest hurts. And then I kept saying, my chest hurts really bad. And then like a second later, she called like another nurse in, which I was assuming was my nurse. And I told her my chest hurt. She gave me something, and I asked her for my phone. And like I said, my phone was sitting on by the sink, and she told me no. She was like, no, I'm not going to give you your phone because you're going to drop it, which I probably would have. So she didn't give me my phone. She came back and gave me some more medicine. And before I knew it, y'all, I was out again. Like, I fell asleep. So I felt like she was just like, let's put this bitch to sleep, because she's crying too much. And they put me to sleep. And then when I woke up again, I was in my actual room, and my nurse had came in. It's like she knew that I woke up or something, because like I remember as soon as I opened my eyes, like the door opened, and she came in, and I told her I wanted to get up, and that my chest was hurting. My chest was still hurting. It was like literally on fire. Like, that is something that I never ever want to experience again. Like, I'm not being dramatic at all. People that don't have experienced gas pain, you're very fortunate. You're very fortunate, because that shit is nothing to play with. So I told her I wanted to get up. She helped me on my bed, and then I sat in the little like recliner, the little plastic recliner chairs that they have in there, and I was like sitting up, and I was good. The pain slowly started to subside a little bit. I had brought with me some Gasettes from the I had brought some Gasettes with me, and she told me I could take those. They gave me more prescriptions, and I did tell her that I didn't want to take anything else that was gonna make me fall asleep, because I swear they were knocking me the fuck out. Like, I was sleeping. Like, it was like every time I felt pain, like 3 times in a row, if I told them I was hurting real bad, they would give me something and I would fall asleep. Like, I don't want to go to sleep. But yeah, so she came in, and I set up and everything. She brought me some soup. No, it wasn't soup, it was broth. Some chicken broth, some water, some more pain medicine, and I took my Gasettes, and I started walking. She kept telling me, she was like, you have so much gas buildups because during the procedure of the surgery, during the procedure, they inflate your stomach with carbon dioxide so they can, see everything. And after surgery's over, they deflate it as much as they can. If they can't deflate it, if they didn't deflate it well, or get all the gas, all that carbon dioxide out, you will have a lot of gas. And I think that's what happened to me. Dr. Brigman did my surgery. Dr. Brigman, I don't know if you deflated well. That's all I'm gonna say. But that's besides the point. It's had a lot of gas and everything. It was bad. It was bad. That is the only thing throughout my entire experience when it came from far surgery that was the worst. My incisions didn't bother me. Nothing like that. Now they were a little, their incisions, they're cut, so they're gonna be a little irritated or whatever, but Nothing that would have made me have to take a pain pill for. I was taking pain pills for this gas. And back to walking. So I was walking the very first day that I got out the hospital. I mean, not got out. The very first day that I had my surgery, I was walking. That night, I was walking around. I was doing laps. Now, I was going slow, but I was walking. My memory is so like vague of it a little bit. I think it was because I was sleeping so much. Like, I was so out of it. Like, I felt so high. Like, I smoke. So, but this high was like on another type of high. Like, I was just, I don't know. I remember like walking. I remember my husband being there briefly and then him leaving. But I just remember walking. Like, I couldn't really sleep. I was not getting back in that bed. So my entire stay, I did not get back in that bed at all. I sat up in that chair because my nurse did tell me if I laid down, the gas would, just sit there and it would just be uncomfortable. So I sat up the whole time, and she was right. It did help. So my stay was I left the next day, but it was like in the middle of like late that day I had left. So I didn't stay in the hospital for a full 2 days, I think. But other than that, I didn't have any like complications or anything. During my surgery though, they did find a hiatal hernia on top of my diaphragm. So I was also informed that is completely normal. It's something that a lot of people may have. So I did have to have that removed. And then they also informed me that the reason why I probably was also having so much gas is because that was a repair that they had to take care of too. So besides that, we're good. When I got home, y'all, I was hungry. I was so hungry when I got home. I was so hungry that you wouldn't have thought that I just had this surgery. And I felt bad because in my head, I was just like, I just had this surgery. Why am I hungry? Like, and the gastric sleeve isn't an appetite suppressant. Like, but then, I wasn't really thinking like that. It's just like, I just had weight loss surgery. Why am I hungry? So I was starving, y'all. And the only thing I could have was not soft foods, but liquid. It was pretty much, I was on my 2-week liquid diet again. So prior to having surgery, my doctor put me on a liquid diet, which included me eating like 4 ounces of meat. Like, so for breakfast, it would be like a protein shake. For lunch, it would be like another protein shake. And then for dinner, it was like 4 ounces of meat, 1 cup of vegetables, and it was like something else. So I could eat, but it was just a little bit. But after surgery, I was on like pretty much just full liquids. So I was just like, these liquids aren't doing it for me. The protein shakes were disgusting. At the time, I was doing Gatorade Zero, Premier Protein. I only really like the caramel ones. And I really didn't like those. It was just something that I could, digest, deal with pretty much. So I was doing the Premier Protein shakes, water, ice, and that was pretty much it. So I remember one night, I want to say maybe I was a week out of surgery. Y'all, I was so hungry. And it was something sweet. I just wanted something, right? And I was just like, I think I'm doing good. Like, I'm doing my protein, I'm drinking my water. Like, nothing negative was happening to me to make me feel like I couldn't do what I'm about to tell y'all I did. I went in my refrigerator and I had one of them 0 sugar yogurts. I had some of those. I love strawberries. The flavor was strawberry too for the yogurt. And then I saw some actual full strawberries in my refrigerator. So I took 1 strawberry, had the yogurt. Y'all, I scooped that shit and I bit it and I chewed it. I chewed it well. They say chew 30 times on each side to chew your food, right? I did that. Y'all, I died and came back. I want to say 5 minutes after I ate it, I was hurting. I was in so much pain. I don't know. I didn't throw up. Did I throw up? I didn't throw up. I was cramping really bad. It felt like somebody took my stomach grabbed it, twisted it over and over and over again. It felt like a bad cramp, like a contraction. My fucking body was on fire. Like, it was bad. I had to go to my appointment a few days later. And I'm completely honest. I'm one of those people that's completely honest with my doctors, because they're doctors. And I'm not about to lie to you about some stuff that I need your help with. You know what I'm saying? So I told my doctor what I did. And he looked at me with the dumbest fucking face. And I feel like if he could have said this, he would have been like, Courtney, you're stupid as shit. You're stupid. He said, the reason why, he was like, out of all things that you could have ate, you ate a strawberry. And I said, yes. I said, yes. He said, in the beginning, that is the worst thing you can do, because fruit don't digest well in your stomach in general. And you just got this new stomach. Your stomach couldn't digest that strawberry. How the fuck am I supposed to know that? I look at him like, how am I supposed to know that? Like, what? So after that, I didn't touch a strawberry until it's been way over a year. I just started eating strawberries again because I was afraid. I was not touching another strawberry. I didn't know if my stomach just didn't like them or what. I wasn't doing it. So after that scare, I was really doing what I was supposed to be doing. Like, I didn't eat any of that stuff. I was already weighing my food. Oh, and this is when I got to the next stage, because on my diet, I had like 3 stages. So I have my book here so I can remember. So on mine, I had my week 1 and week 2 stage liquid diet. That's when I did the strawberry thing. So when I had got to my week 3, I was able to move up to soft foods, and I was able to eat scrambled eggs, can of tuna, spoon of crab, like stuff like that, like soft food. So I started to really follow everything, and I was doing really good. You kind of really got to play with it. I mean, I was eating eggs a lot, fish. I was trying crab meat, the canned tuna. I was doing that. String cheese, I'm still not really a fan of. Cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, it's just the texture of some stuff that I just can't get with. So I was really following, the protocol and doing everything I was supposed to do. Within my first week of surgery, I think I want to say I lost 15 pounds. I was really surprised. I didn't really start seeing the weight physically though until I started taking pictures of myself. I do remember my husband telling me that he could see the difference, but me personally, I couldn't see it. And that's where the mental aspect of this comes in, because it kind of gets really frustrating and discouraging when you just laid on this table and have this surgery and you personally can't see your own results. It's like, what the fuck did I just do? I felt like that for a while until I started taking pictures of the scale. I started taking pictures of the scale more than me, because it was just like, okay, the numbers are going down. The numbers are going down. You just can't see it. And then when my clothes, I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I wore sweatpants a lot. So when my sweatpants became real baggy, even when the string was tight, I felt like I was doing something. I was like, okay, let me start taking pictures. And I started feeling myself a little bit, wanting to get dressed up more and whatnot. So I do recommend anybody that's going through this stage to definitely take pictures, even before you have the surgery, even after. I have a video that I posted on TikTok, and I'm so embarrassed of it. And I'm not going to delete it, probably eventually, but I'm not going to delete it because I thought I was the cutest thing. I mean, I was cute, but I thought I was the smallest thing, you know what I'm saying? I didn't think I needed the surgery. And now that I have had it, it's just you have come a long way. So fast forward to a year out. Here I am now. I have hit a stall, and I have been on this stall for a few months now. My doctor has told me that it is a stall because you are not done losing weight, Courtney. And which I'm really happy to hear, but it's just stalls are something that really you can't really be prepared for, because as much as I know, I'm just speaking for me, as much as I have said that I didn't want to lose too much weight, now here it is, I'm stuck and I'm not losing weight at all, that I want to start losing weight again. It's just like, bro, like I wish this stall would just go away. Like they're annoying. They're very much annoying. And my problem with this whole thing, and I just want to be completely blunt with you guys, and my doctor telling me after, like, sitting down and explaining, how I eat, what I eat, he doesn't think I'm eating enough. And I totally agree with him, because a lot of times I'm not hungry. So like even today, I haven't eaten breakfast. It is 12:55 and I'm still not hungry. And maybe around 2 o'clock, I might get a little hungry, but it might just be like not a starving. So I'll just grab something small. And then at night, I'm really hungry. And at night, everything is, if it's not fast and quick, I don't want it because it's late. I don't feel like cooking. I don't feel like, So my doctor did tell me to, at this point, to not really focus on like my protein and anything, like keeping track of how much protein I eat. He's like, don't even worry about that. He was like, you need to make sure that you're eating. And he's like, because if you're not eating, your body is pretty much just storing and holding on to the nutrients that it does have, that when you are walking or you are exercising or you are burning calories, you're not really burning much, because it's feeding off of the energy that you already have stored in your body. So with that being said, I do have a lot of healthy choice meals and stuff that I do grab because they are fast, heat up, and they're healthy. I know he told me not to really focus on how much protein that I'm intaking, but easier said than done, because I still try to stay away from a lot of sugar foods and, more high protein foods. And so that's what I do. What I'm struggling with right now is just eating more, because I'm not really eating that much. It's so hard to eat when you're not hungry, even though you need to eat. It's so hard. Throughout this entire journey, though, I don't regret a thing. I don't regret a thing. If I could recommend it to 1,001 people, I would. I highly recommend it. If anything, I wish I would have had it sooner. I used to hate hearing when people say that, but I understand. I really do wish I would have had the surgery sooner. It's a different type of confidence when you feel good about yourself. Like, I remember seeing like smaller girls before and just being like, she thinks she all that. No, she don't think she all that. She knows she all that. And a bag of chips. You know, you used to say that in school. She thinks she all that in a bag of chips. But it's like, they just had that confidence. And I feel like I'm there now. I feel like my confidence level is up here to the roof. Like, wearing shorts before was something that I really didn't, like wearing, because I was so big, the chafing on my legs, just not feeling comfortable. Crop top, you couldn't pay me to wear a crop top unless, I don't know, maybe it was an undershirt underneath or something. Like, I was just always like covering up and just being real discreet. And I used to always say, like, as long as this and up from here and up is good, I'm good. But now that I've had the surgery and I lost this weight, I feel like that was just a way for me to just feel better about myself, or kind of just like hide how I really felt about my body. Because why are you just trying to make sure your face and your hair is good and everything else is just not like, are you like that was just a sign to me that I wasn't confident in my physical appearance, and the only thing that I could change about it was my face and my hair. So that's the only thing that I cared about back then. But now I love when I'm all put together. I love when I have a cute outfit on. I love when my hair's done, my makeup's done, my outfit's nice, and I'm showing some skin. Even if I'm not showing skin, it's just a different type of confidence. This journey has also taught me everybody is not along for the ride. People that are supportive of you and are happy for your journey are going to stick with you, big, small, whatever. It doesn't matter. But some people just aren't. Relationships are going to come and go. Mindsets are going to change, especially yours. Like, I hate to say it, but fat girl mentality versus small girl mentality is something totally different. I know for a fact, because I've been there as a plus size woman, I was more shields off and a little standoffish. You know, I'm the person that I can voice my opinion. I really can. I can be the loudest one in the room at times. But because I felt like I was so big, not because I felt like, because I was so big, I feel like a lot of times I didn't want the spotlight on me. I didn't really want to be seen and whatnot. So now that I'm smaller and I'm more confident, I feel like I can stand in a room full of people and raise my hand if I have a question. Or, you know, some people aren't going to feel you on that. You know, that person that you used to go to conventions with or shows with is probably, she might not fuck with you no more because now you're out and about and you're more vocal. You're, you know, having fun, you're dancing. So you really have to watch your crowd, because you are going to see the people that you thought were your friends, you thought was your family, you thought was your man, you thought was your girl. They change because you're changing in a positive way. And don't feel like because you're changing, it's something negative because the relationship it's you know, dying down. Like, no. Because I even questioned myself at one point in time, because it was just like, why such and such acting like this? Is it because I'm acting like this? No. My experience and me going through my journey shouldn't change how you are affecting or treating me. So just keep in mind and don't settle for the bullshit, because that's what I call it, bullshit. So I don't know. That is my VSG journey thus far, guys. I'm going to give you guys a little look at what I look like now. I also, if you guys haven't seen the video that I did on the binder, the abdominal binder, please make sure y'all go watch that. I feel like it's on my shorts on my page. I did a little video, because that binder is definitely, I'm gonna keep recommending that. And I'm gonna say it over and over, because if you don't have an abdominal binder, you need to get one. When you go to that hospital, before you leave, ask them for an abdominal binder. And if you don't know about it, I think I'm gonna put it up here, that short video up here somewhere, so you can watch it. It's just it's a few seconds long. Just watch it, y'all, and just look at the difference between me and that. But I'm going to do a little side by side of what I look like before and what I look like now. And yeah, so thank you guys for sticking around and watching this long video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see y'all on my next one. If you have any questions, comments, or anything, any tips, if you're going through surgery, just leave everything, load me up in the comments. All right, I like, you know, chatting back with y'all. So take care, and I wish you guys something but the best. Peace out.